So the PlayStation 5 event happened last night, and with it we finally got the release date and the price of the next generation systems, as well as being treated to so many new trailers. There's some amazing games coming out on the PS5 over the coming year, and with all that being said, the fact it was one of the best events that I've seen in a while, I'm super mad about it. Let's talk about it. Kicking things off with the event, we were treated right out the gate with a trailer for Final Fantasy 16, and man, I did not expect Final Fantasy 16 to be revealed during this event, especially not first. I thought that would have been like the grand finale, but no, Sony came right out the gate with Final Fantasy 16, and I didn't even know it was that game to start off with. I write for a website called gamezone.co.uk, and I was covering the event last night on that website, and I was making notes about it, and in my notes I said, like, this looks a lot like a Final Fantasy game. Like, this has got that sort of Final Fantasy vibe to it, and yeah, turns out it was Final Fantasy 16. And obviously early this year we got Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 1, and Part 2 is in development, so I can't see this coming out anytime soon. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is coming. Whether it's going to be timed exclusive, not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm all for it. Now, I'm not going to talk about the event too much because millions upon millions of you guys already watched the event, so you guys know what's happened. I'm just going to kind of brush over the event a little bit for you guys, talk about some highlights for me. And another highlight is the Hogwarts Legacy game, the open world RPG Harry Potter game. Now, I've got to say, admittedly, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I read most of the books. I kind of got bored about halfway through. I've seen most of the movies just because they're always on TV, but it's not sort of a series or franchise that I really care about or follow. But I've got to say, Hogwarts Legacy looks absolutely amazing and definitely the sort of game that I would like to play. So yeah, I am all for that. Now, we're also treated to a lot of stuff we already knew about, like the new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which the campaign looks pretty damn nice. I'm very hyped for that game. Now, I'm not the biggest Call of Duty fan in the world, but I love playing the campaigns, and that definitely looks like it's going to be a good one. So yeah, super hyped for that. Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil is my favourite series of all time, so getting any new trailers for that is always going to be a good thing in my eyes. Deathloop, that looks like it's going to be a really underrated game. It's a game from Bethesda, but it's not one that anyone really talks about, so hopefully it turns out to be good, and hopefully it gets the love and attention it deserves, because since seeing the first trailer that back in like June, that has really piqued my interest. That's definitely like high on my wish list right now at games that I want to play in the next generation. Also going to be a new Oddworld game, Oddworld Soulstorm, which seemed to kind of blend perfectly, sort of the old 2D style game and then 3D, and it kind of worked perfectly. Now, I can't wait for the game to launch. Oddworld was some of my favorite games growing up, and I cannot wait to dive back into the series. There's also going to be a new Five Nights at Freddy game. That's like really random. I never expect to see that series sort of see the light of day again, so the fact we're getting a new one it was unexpected. And then obviously the grand finale, it was confirmed that a new God of War game, God of War Ragnarok, is in development, which is obviously going to make a lot of people happy. God of War is one of the highest rated games of all time, so a sequel is going to be very much welcomed. And yeah, going to be a little while off yet, but it should be a lot of fun when it launches. Now, one of the highlights for sure was the PS Plus collection, which is pretty much going to be like Sony's answer to Microsoft's Game Pass, and it's pretty much going to allow, I think it's going to be like all first-party PS4 games and some select third-party games are going to be available to play at launch. So games like God of War, The Last of Us, stuff like that are going to be available on PS5 on launch. And it has also been confirmed since the event that 99% of all PS4 games are going to work backwards compatible with the PS5, meaning that you can sort of pretty much sell your PS4 and you can bring all of your collection over to the PlayStation 5 and continue playing on there, which is amazing to hear. And yeah, I'm super excited for that. The PS4 admittedly was probably my least played console of the generation. For some reason I just didn't really get into it. I did miss out on a lot of games. It was generally the console which I always sort of like gravitated away from. I don't know why, because it is such a great system, but I missed out on so many amazing games. So the fact that I can continue that journey of the PS4 on the PS5 is amazing. I'll definitely be going back and playing a lot of the back catalogue, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and all that sort of good stuff. I'll be playing them for sure. And yeah, definitely the best bit of news I think we heard in the event, especially for players like me. But one thing that I am not happy about, I am mad about this in fact, is the release date of the PS5. Now, the Xbox Series X and Series S comes out on November 10th, which is a worldwide launch. I think it's 36 countries in total are going to be getting the Xbox on day one. I don't know if there's other countries maybe down the road, but obviously all your main ones, your US, your Canada, your Japan, your UK, your Europe, etc., all going to be included on day one on November 10th. Now, with the PS5, it's going to be November 12th. I think it's for the US, Canada, Mexico, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, and South Korea. May have missed one or two off there, but I think that's pretty much the list. And for the rest of the world, it is November 19th, which is 1 week later. And now, as you guys may have guessed, I am part of the rest of the world. In fact, I'm from the UK, which is actually one of the biggest gaming markets there is, and we've been bundled in with the rest of the world. So why does that make me mad? Well, I'm a content creator. Obviously, you're watching me talk now on YouTube, which means that I make YouTube videos. I'm a YouTube content creator. I'm also a writer. I'm also a freelance game writer. I write about video games on the internet and I make money from doing it. And obviously the delay by the week is going to be detrimental because obviously I can't show you guys the console on day one. I can't say on November 12th, this is the PS5, this is what it looks like when you unbox it, this is what it's like when you turn it on. There's going to be plenty of other YouTubers doing that instead, and I've got to sit and basically watch them instead of being able to play it myself. So when it gets out on November 19th and I go, this is the PS5, this is what it looks like, this is what it does, everyone's going to be like, well, I saw that a week ago, I know what it's like already, it's nothing special, which obviously is going to be detrimental in terms of the view count for the channel, as well as the fact that obviously for games, so we can't get a lot of that early sort of content of being able to show off the console November 12th. We're going to have to wait a week. I can understand if you live in some sort of like arse end country, like in the middle of nowhere, that like, yeah, maybe obviously like rest of the world wait a week, but for one of your biggest markets, like the US, Japan and Europe are like the biggest gaming markets in the world. So the fact, especially for consoles anyway, like mobile gaming is really big in Asia and India and stuff like that. But for console game, for the Xbox, for the PS5, Europe, US and Japan are the big regions. So the fact that Europe kind of just got pushed to the side with the rest of the world, it's really annoyed me. Now, I was originally going to get the PS5 and the Xbox Series S. I was going to get the disc drive PS5 and then the Series S for digital version. But yeah, that decision kind of led me down the path of, I think I'm actually going to upgrade the Xbox to the Series X. I'm going to downgrade the PS5 to the digital only. So the PS5 is now going to be my digital only, which is going to be mainly for like backwards compatibility for the PS4, as well as exclusives. And then the Series X is going to be for like everything else, like your Call of Duties, your Resident Evil, your Fortnite, all of that stuff like that. So the multi-platform, sort of cross-platform type of games, going to focus on the Xbox Series X instead. So I suppose it probably means nothing to Sony, but they've lost out on money there and Microsoft have gained it. And obviously the only comfort that I've got in the fact that we're going to have to wait an extra week for the PS5 is that I can sort of cry myself to sleep while playing the Xbox Series X. So yeah, but overall I'm pretty annoyed about that. Now price wise, it's going to be $500 and $400 for the PS5 digital PS5. It's going to be $449 and $359 in the UK. Don't know about the rest of the regions, but you can sort of work it out from there. So yeah, overall the prices are pretty decent. It's a bit more expensive than the Series S, but obviously it's the same power of the PS5 just without a disc drive, so you can kind of understand it being a little bit more expensive, where the Series X is actually weaker than the Series X. So yeah, price wise, nothing to complain about there at all. Just I'm salty, I'm not going to lie. I am actually really salty about the release date, but what can you do apart from moving to America, which I'm not going to do anytime soon. That shit show going on. Then I'm just going to have to wait. It is what it is. But there we go. Overall, I'm still going to buy the console because I'm just a big cook for gaming. And yeah, I'm annoyed at Sony, but I'm still going to hand over 400 quid to them for the console because it is what it is. But I'm allowed to be salty. I'm allowed to be salty. But there you go, guys. That is my opinion of the PS5 event. The PS5 event itself was absolutely amazing. They just ruined it for me with the release dates. But I still pre-ordered one. I've still got a console on the way on launch day. So yeah, I'm still going to be getting it despite the fact I'm complaining to you guys right now. But what did you guys think of the event? Have you pre-ordered your PS5 yet? There's been a lot of issues with pre-orders. Did you manage to get one in? Let me know in the comments. Are you going to go for the digital? Are you going to go for the full fat? Are you getting any of the Xboxes? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, do you enjoy this little kind of rant that I did, this little rambling video that I did, just sort of like give my thoughts and feelings on the whole thing? If you did enjoy it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to those notifications on, because like I said, I have pre-ordered the console. Going to be pre-ordering the Xbox on Tuesday as well, which means it's going to be a lot of Series X and PS5 content on this channel. So if you're excited for that, make sure you're sticking around by clicking that subscribe button. And if you want to check out anything else that I do on the channel, I'll put some playlists in the description box and on screen at the end of this video, so make sure you go and check them out. My name is Doodles. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.